In this video, we are going to discuss about cooperative society. This is plus one business studies and the chapter is forms of business organization. The word cooperative means working together. To cooperate means to help each other. So cooperative society is an association that is formed to help the members. We can define cooperative society as a voluntary association which is made by persons, and the motive is the welfare of the members. So welfare of the members is the main motive behind forming the cooperative society. Cooperative society is registered under Cooperative Society Act 1912. Cooperative society is registered under Cooperative Society Act 1912 and registration of the cooperative society is compulsory. Cooperative society cannot be started without registration, and registration has to be done as per Cooperative Society Act 1912. The minimum number of members in a cooperative society must be 10. 10 adult members must be there. 10 adult persons must be there. Here the word adult means persons must be more than 18 years of age. They must not be less than 18 years of age. So 10 adult members must be there to form a cooperative society, and members, they contribute capital. So capital is raised through the members through the issue of shares. The shares are issued to the members. Members purchase those shares, and in this way the cooperative societies has capital. And the main aim for cooperative society, or the principle behind cooperative society, is each for all and all for each. Each for all and all for each. The motive behind cooperative society, the principle behind cooperative society. Or it is a self-help through mutual help, means to help each other. We are helping each other, and so we also getting benefit for that. Now we would be doing about the some of the features of the cooperative society. And the features of the cooperative society, the first feature that we would be doing is voluntary membership. Voluntary means free, not paid. So membership in a cooperative society is voluntary. Who can be the member? Any person or any adult person be the member, means person above the age of 18 years and who have the common interest can be the members of the cooperative society. The person who wants to be the member of the cooperative society, he has to give a notice stating that he wants to join the cooperative society, and he is free to leave the cooperative society also by giving that notice. So a person is free to join cooperative society and is free to leave the cooperative society by giving the notice. No person in the cooperative society can be forced to join the membership or to continue the membership. So the membership is not compulsory. Persons cannot be forced to join the cooperative society, and they cannot be forced to leave the cooperative society. In the cooperative society, there is no discrimination on the basis of region, on the basis of caste, and on the basis of gender. Second feature of cooperative society is legal status. Now we know that in a cooperative society registration is compulsory, and registration has to be done according to the Cooperative Society Act 1912. Because registration is compulsory and it has to be done according to the Cooperative Society Act 1912, so cooperative society has legal status. Now after the registration, cooperative society becomes a legal entity. Legal entity means it becomes different from its members. Cooperative society can own property on its name. It can make contracts on its name. It can sue others on its name, and it can also be sued. It means membership is different and cooperative society is different. Now, because cooperative society is having a separate legal identity, because cooperative society is having a separate legal identity, so its existence is not affected by the entry or by the exist of other members. In the previous forms of business organization, means in partnership, in a joint Hindu family business, and in sole proprietorship, we have studied that members and the form are the same because they were not having the separate legal identity. Now here, this is the new feature that you have not learned before. This feature says that a cooperative society has a legal status, means their members are different and society is different. Members may come, members may go, but the existence of the cooperative society is not affected by the coming of the members or by the going of the members. At the same time, cooperative society can purchase property, can sell assets, cooperative society can sue, it can be sued, it can come into contracts on its own name but not on the names of the members. So it is having a legal status. Then the limited liability. The liability of all the members in a cooperative society is limited. How much limitation is there? To the amount of, to the extent of the capital that they have contributed. Whatever capital they have contributed, only that amount of risk they have, because the liability is limited. Their personal assets cannot be used to clear off the debts of the society. So limited liability for all the members are there in cooperative society. Now the next feature is the control. Cooperative society is controlled by the managing committee, and this managing committee is elected by the members of the cooperative society. And in an election, democratic principle of one man one vote is followed. Means there is an election, and in that election democratic principle of one man one vote is followed. Through that election, a managing committee is selected, and that managing committee that is elected, that controls the cooperative society. So cooperative society is in the hands of the managing committee. Fifth point is the service motive. Cooperative society is formed with the motive of providing help to the members. So main objective or main motive is to provide help rather than to earn profit. If in the operations the profit is generated, then that profit is distributed among the members in the form of dividend. What is dividend now? This is a new term. Dividend is the distribution of the profit. It is the part of the profit that is distributed to the shareholders. We know that the persons, they purchases the shares of the cooperative society, and whatever profit the cooperative society earns, that is shared among the members in the form of the dividend. So service motive is there. The main motive is to provide mutual help, and then after that motive, it is if the profit is generated, that profit can be used in order to distribute between the members in the form of the dividend. So next topic of discussion will be the merits of cooperative society. What are the merits the cooperative society has? First merit is equality in voting status. Now why there is an equality in voting status? Because the principle of one man one vote is followed. Because of the principle of one man one vote is followed, that is why there is an equality in the voting status. Every member who has attained the age of 18 years is a member of the cooperative society, has equal voting rights irrespective of the contribution in capital that they have done. It doesn't matter how much capital they have invested. It doesn't matter how much shares they have purchased. What it matters is that it must be an adult person, and the democratic principles of one man one vote is followed. That is why there is an equality in voting status. Second is the limited liability. That is also advantage. Limited liability. All liability of all the members in a cooperative society is limited. Because the liability of all the members in a cooperative society is limited, that is why that this is an advantage. The personal assets of the members are safe and they are not used to repay back the debts of the business. Third advantage is the stable existence. Stable existence means that the existence of the cooperative society is not affected by the coming and by the going of the members. It is not affected. The existence is stable. It is not affected by the death, by the insolvency, by the retirement of the members. It continues for a larger period of time. Then advantage next is the economy in operation. Now cooperative society is for mutual help of the members. So cooperative societies, they are purchasing goods in large quantities and they are reducing cost. They are eliminating middlemen. They are purchasing goods in large quantities. They are reducing cost. They are eliminating middlemen. As a result of that, it is having economy in operation. Economy in operation means cooperative society earns or tries to reduce the cost in which they are involved by doing activities which are bulky in nature. Next is support from the government. Cooperative society also gets support from the government. Why? Because it is based on democratic lines. It is based on democratic lines, so it is getting support from the government. What type of support is it is getting? The support that cooperative society is getting is exemptions from certain types of taxes, concessions from the government, subsidies, interest on loans at low rates. Such type of advantages the cooperative society is getting from the government, because cooperative society's main objective is mutual help. Cooperative society is based on democratic lines. That is why the government tries to help the cooperative society. So the sixth advantage of cooperative society is ease of formation. Formation in a cooperative society is easy. Registration has to be done according to the Companies Society Act 1912, and minimum of 10 adult members are required and cooperative society can be registered. So the formation of the cooperative society is easy. It is not a difficult task. Now our topic of discussion is the limitations of cooperative society. First limitation, first problem of cooperative society is limited resources. Resources in a cooperative society is less. They are limited because the members, those people who are the members, they face the shortage of finance. The members have limited means. The members have limited resources. So they are unable to invest in cooperative society in large amounts. And cooperative society also provides a low rate of dividend to the members who are invested in the cooperative society. So cooperative society, they faces the problem of limited resources. Then you have inefficiency in management. The managing, we know that the cooperative society is controlled by a managing committee, and that managing committee is elected in the elections of the cooperative society by the principles of one man one vote. And at the same time, those managing committee that has been elected, they are not expert businessmen. They are not able to take proper decisions. They are not experts in different fields. So there is inefficiency of management. They are unable to handle the business operations in a proper way, and they don't have any resources, and they cannot appoint large experts or big experts to manage the cooperative society because of the lack of resources. Now next disadvantage is the lack of secrecy. There is no secrecy in the cooperative society because the decisions are taken in a meeting which is openly held. The decisions are taken, the decision of the cooperative societies, they are taken in open, and which are held in an open manner, and every member knows what the cooperative society are going to do. Every member in a cooperative society, they are free to check the books of accounts that is maintained by the cooperative, society. So there is no secrecy in the cooperative society, and everything is disclosed to the members. Next point is the government control. The government is controlling the cooperative society. Why? Because government provides various types of concessions to the cooperative society. Because government is providing various types of concessions to the cooperative society, it is trying to control the cooperative society. In which form? It is compulsory for the cooperative society to audit its accounts, to submit the account to the government. Now, this reduces flexibility in management. Management cannot control the business, or management cannot take decisions in an independent way. Then you have difference of opinion. We know that meetings are held in an open manner. Because of that, there can be internal quarrels. There can be lack of cooperation among the members. This may lead to difficulty in decision making. As a result, there can be differences in opinions, and there can be conflicts in the cooperative societies. So cooperative society also has certain limitations, certain disadvantages, and it also has certain advantages. Now let's study the different types of cooperative societies. The different types of cooperative societies. First of all, we have consumer cooperative society, then we have producers cooperative society, then we have marketing cooperative society. After that is the farmers cooperative society, then is the credit cooperative society, and then is the cooperative housing society. So different types of cooperative societies we have, and these different types of cooperative societies fulfills different functions of the different sections of the society. What are these? Okay, first, the consumer cooperative society. Every cooperative society is related to a particular member. So that will be helping us to understand the functions which is performed by the different cooperative society. The first is the consumer cooperative society. As the name suggests, consumer cooperative society is for the consumers. So a consumer cooperative society is formed by the consumers to obtain better quality goods at reasonable price. So the main aim of this cooperative society is to eliminate the middlemen by purchasing goods in large quantities from the manufacturers or the wholesalers, and reducing or limiting or eliminating the middleman that is there. The profits that is generated, that profit is distributed between the members in the form of a dividend. So consumer cooperative society purchases goods from the manufacturers and from the wholesalers, and they are supplying those goods to the members of that society. In this way, members, they are getting goods at reasonable price. At the same time, the profits that they are getting, that profit they are distributing among themselves in the form of dividend. So this is the function of the consumer cooperative society. Then we have producers cooperative society. As the name suggests, the producers cooperative society is formed by the small producers who wanted to purchase inputs so that they can produce goods and meet the demands of the consumers. So they are unable to face competition from the large scale producers. So these group of people, they have formed a cooperative society, and this cooperative society is known as the producers cooperative society. This society provides goods to the members, raw materials, inputs, and they are providing these to the members at low rate of low money, that is low cost they are providing it, and profits that is distributed among the members, and in the amount in the form of the dividends that they have. So this is the producers cooperative society. Consumer cooperative society for the consumers, and producer cooperative society for the small producers. So who are the members? In a consumer cooperative society, the members are the consumers. In a producers cooperative society, members are the small producers. Then you have next, that is the marketing cooperative society. Marketing cooperative society, as the name suggests, these cooperative societies are for the producers who wants to sell goods in the market. So marketing cooperative societies, this is an association formed by the small producers who wants to sell their goods in the market. What is the difference between the producers cooperative society and the marketing cooperative society? The producers cooperative society was also an association of small producers, but they wanted to purchase inputs for the production of goods, whereas the marketing cooperative society, they have finished goods and they wanted to sell these goods in the market. So this is the main function. The production of the different members is collected. Whatever production the different members has done, that is collected, and the society tries to sell these in the market by eliminating the middlemen. All the functions such as of transportation, warehousing, packaging is done together, and the because of the production is pulled down, this cooperative society also has a bargaining power. They can bargain, and they can sell the goods in the market. This is the main function of this marketing cooperative society. Then you have the farmers cooperative society. The name suggests the farmers cooperative society. The farmers cooperative society is formed by the farmers who wanted to take up a farming activity jointly, and they wanted to take the benefit of large scale production, and they wanted to have higher productivity. The society helps the members by providing better quality seeds, fertilizers, machinery, and other modern techniques and inputs for the growing of crops. The main aim of the cooperative society is that the farmer must have better production and they must have better returns for their crops that they have grown. So those small farmers who are having small uneconomical holdings, they can be the member of this farmers cooperative society. The land can be pooled up and production can be done on large scale, and the produced goods can be sold in the market. Then you have the credit cooperative society. Credit cooperative society you have done in class 10th also in the form of SHGs, that the self help group in money and credit, in which the members they joins together in order to provide financial help to each other. So this is an example of credit cooperative society. So the main objective of the credit cooperative society is to provide loan to the members at less rate of interest. So the society wants to protect the members from the exploitation of money lenders. Therefore, they are providing loans to the members, and they are trying to help the members by providing loan and protecting them from the money lenders. Credit cooperative society to provide financial help to its members. Next you have the cooperative housing society. The name suggests cooperative housing societies are those, it is a voluntary association of those people who wanted to have a house, who wanted to have a residential accommodation at lower cost. Means they are not having a house, they wanted to buy a house, they wanted to purchase a house at low cost. So those members, those persons can be the member of this cooperative housing society. What does this cooperative housing society do? Cooperative housing society purchase land in bulk and do construction of the houses and supplies houses to the members at reasonable rates. The members they have to pay the money in installments for the houses that they have purchased from the society. So the cooperative housing society, they are providing houses to the members at low rates. The credit cooperative societies, they are providing credit to the members at less rate of interest and protect the members from money lenders. Then you have farmer cooperative societies are for the help of the farmers. Farmers can be the members of this society. The land of the farmers will be pulled out, and at the same time farmers will be provided inputs for production by the society at reasonable rates. Marketing cooperative society. Marketing cooperative society is for the small producers who wanted to sell their goods in the market, and they wanted to reduce middlemen, and they wanted to get good profits for the goods that they have produced, and at the same time they will also share the transportation, warehousing and packaging etc facilities. Then you have next, we have done the producers cooperative society. This is also an association of small producers, but here they wanted to produce goods, so they wanted to have inputs at cheap rates from the market by eliminating the wholesalers. Then you have done about the consumers cooperative society. Consumer cooperative society is made by the consumers so that they can get goods at reasonable rates from the market by eliminating the middlemen and by purchasing goods in large quantities from the wholesalers and the manufacturers. So this is all about the cooperative societies, the concept of cooperative society, future of the cooperative society, advantages and limitations of cooperative societies, and at the same time the different types of cooperative societies that we have. Thank you.